Hello readers, writers, and human beings. Today I wanted to make a video on the mid-year book tag, so the mid-year wrap-up. I've always seen this video circulate at the midpoint of the year, but I've never done it because I'm always late. So I'm gonna do it this year, and I'm almost missing the cutoff because we are in the beginning of July, but that's okay. I hope you enjoy ASMR sounds because my window is open, so you'll hear birds, nature, and the garbage truck passing. So that is what it is. And yeah, the lighting is horrible. We're like literally noontime and the lighting is just not lighting, but that's okay. That's the reality of living in northern Ontario in Canada. Having said that, let's get that out of the way now. Let's start with the questions. I have 13 questions here. I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability, and hopefully you'll gather some book recommendations by the end of this video. So first question is, best book you've read so far this year? So I'm going to give two answers because I don't want this one book to always come up. So the first book I'm going to say is Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen. It was a very compelling sapphic read. I think this is her debut novel and she's working on her second novel right now. It's amazing. I think it was funny, it was heartfelt, it was very much an anxious main character that I could relate to, so I highly recommend this one. And then I also finally read Fort Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I actually held off on filming this video because I just got this in the mail yesterday, but I had read it on audiobook and on ebook format before that. So yeah, I really enjoyed Fort Wing actually. So this time I did buy into the hype and it did serve me well. Best sequel you read so far this year? Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, and it's actually the only sequel I read so far this year, but it is a very good sequel and I can't wait for the third book. I'm so invested in the main character and the side characters as well. Like, I just want to see where this will lead in the third book, and it's very gritty, it's very academic, but it's also very much like about trauma and found family as well. So honestly, highly recommend this series. Now the third one is a big question. It says new releases you haven't read it yet but you want to, and I have a stack here. Okay, so we're gonna go through them quickly because I've talked about these books I think on my channel as they came out. So the first one is Old Enough by Haley Jacobson. This is a debut queer book about a friendship and a friendship breakup, and I follow Haley Jacobson on TikTok since last year, so I obviously had to support her. Really want to read this before the end of the summer. Then I also got The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. I've been watching Rick Rubin's interviews all over the place, like on Jay Shetty, on other places, and I just really enjoy the way he speaks about art and creativity and writing. So I actually started reading this and it's very quick to read and very compelling, so I'm pretty sure I'll be able to finish it in one go. Then I have Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Like, this is kind of embarrassing because I actually went to see her talk the day that she released this book in Toronto. To be fair, my copy did come later, so it did come late and I had to wait, but I did start this thankfully like last week, so I just have to finish it up and I am really enjoying it. The next two are really big books, and that's why like I'm waiting for maybe the fall time where I have more time, where I feel like I want to sink my teeth into something bigger. And I have Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. I love her stuff. Like, she's an Argentinian author and this is translated into English. So yeah, basically I just really love her stuff. I've read her 2 short story collections, so I just want to read her novel. Apparently this is strange, this is graphic, and it's just everything that basically represent this author and how she writes. So I'm so excited, but it is kind of daunting. I think we're at like 500-600 pages, but I am going to read this year. And then the next book that we have here is Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. I'm gonna be honest, I was very excited to read this and then the hype fell off because I just got busy with life, and then other people have been reviewing this poorly. And I'm terrified. Honestly, I'm fucking terrified to read this because knowing Cassandra Clare, she's gonna fucking rip my heart out, and I'm not ready. I don't think I was emotionally ready yet, but maybe I'm gonna read it before the fall or during the fall time because exciting news. I'm going to see her talk live in Toronto in November time, when she's going to be promoting her new series, starting with the book Swordcatcher, which I obviously pre-ordered and I can't wait to read. So definitely gonna finish this before that and before then. But yeah, I am scared. I am fucking terrified. And this is also another really big book. So the fourth question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And obviously, like I said, Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. Also Rouge by Mona Awad, because obviously Mona Awad is a great author and I want to read everything she writes. So I pre-ordered Rouge. I also pre-ordered a bunch of other books that I am blanking on right now. If something comes to my mind, I will insert pictures here. But honestly, those are two that I really can't stop thinking about and I'm so excited to read. Then we have Biggest Disappointment, and I'm gonna go with Novelist as a Vocation by Haruki Murakami. This is really sad because I thought that I would love it, and it started off really strong. I really did enjoy it. I really did enjoy the tips and advice, but then it kind of like tapered off, wavered off. Like it could have been, honestly, it could have been trimmed. It could have been a bit trimmed. And yeah, it's just him talking about his experience as becoming a novelist. And it is interesting and it is fascinating. But again, I guess this is because it was published before in a journal that it doesn't have that kind of coherence that you expect from this type of work and this type of published work. But I don't know. I just was so hyped and I thought this was going to be like my new favorite writing memoir, but it wasn't. Now, for biggest surprise, I have two books. First of all, I have The Road by Cormac McCarthy, because this made me think, made me cry, made me feel, made me anxious. I read it in 2 nights, and it actually came at a time in my life that was probably the worst, but also the best time to read this. So definitely this one was like a sucker punch, and I can't believe Cormac McCarthy just passed recently, last month. So this is an opportunity to talk about him, and hopefully everyone will pick up this book at some point in their lives. And yeah, it was just a very transformative read. It's a modern classic, I think, now, and I highly recommend it. If you like The Last of Us, this is kind of why I picked it up. I don't know what else to say. I like looking at this book, thinking about this book, it just leaves me again with shock. So. And the next book I want to quickly mention is The Dreamers by Karen Thompson Walker. I feel like I haven't spoken much about this book, but it's because it was the first book that I listened to in audiobook. I don't listen to audiobook. This is a recent thing from, I would say starting April I think, I started listening to audiobook because I got a library card. So yeah, I absorbed this so quickly. I think I went on 2 or 3 walks and I was done with it. And at the end, I was teary-eyed, I was mystified, and this was just such a beautiful writing style, and the story of a pandemic, but a sleep pandemic that hits home. And it's just crazy to me how people can write pandemics so well before even the pandemic happened for us. And because I'm writing my own pandemic book, just reading books and stories like that was just so fascinating to me. And I don't know, it's just very transformative. Why am I saying transformative a lot? It's just a very fascinating, relatable, terrifying read. That's what I'm trying to say. Question number 7 is favorite new author or new to you. And I have 2 answers, but one is not favorite new author, but it's just an author that I'm going to have my eye out for. And it's this author here. It's Tom Rochman. And I read The Italian Teacher, and this one was a very beautiful read. For some reason, it kind of gave me that A Little Life vibe. I didn't finish A Little Life, but it has nothing to do with A Little Life except for the fact that the main character is a very sensitive, introspective, quiet main character that just gets abused kind of by the world and society at large. And it was just so heartbreaking, and I feel like I want to read more by this author because that's the type of shit I relate to. And the next person I'm going to mention is Tia Williams, because I'm currently reading 7 Days in June, and I have to stop myself from binge reading this because it's so good and I just want to absorb it. And it's also very triggering to me, so I'm not going to explain why, because if you read it, you'll understand, but I also don't know if this is a spoiler. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I have no words. I really want to go and Google her and see if she has anything else out, because this is fucking fascinating. I feel like someone opened like a valve in my heart and in my head, went to explore, and then came out writing this. Like, this is transporting me back to my high school days, and that's never a good thing because it's so traumatic but also so relatable. Question number 8 is newest fictional crush. If I hadn't read Fort Wing, I would have not have an answer. Because I read Fort Wing, I have to say Xaden, because he is so hot. Anyways, so yeah, I can't believe I fell for the hype, and I can't believe that I'm feeling all squirmy and shit, but this is so good. It's like, it's not like high literature, but who cares? Who the hell cares? Because it's really compelling, really good, and it's brought a whole community together, and it's probably going to introduce more people into reading and the book community online, so we cannot hate that book for that aspect. Number 9 is newest favorite character. I don't think I have one. As much as I say that I related to like the main character of this book and of 7 Days in June, I think I might say 7 Days in June, the main character, Ava, because I really do relate to her, and she's very strong and very like emotional and passionate, and she's so like into what she does, and she's very much in survival mode, but she's also very much a beautiful person. And I don't know, maybe Ava. We'll see, maybe, yeah. Question number 10 is book that made you cry. So all of these books made me tear up 1 or 2 tears, but they didn't make me cry. And I'm a big crier, so that's very rare. So The Dreamers, I had a tear. The Italian Teacher, I had a tear. Fort Wing, I had a tear. And then Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead, I had a tear as well. Question number 11 is books that made you happy. Happiness? What the fuck is happiness? I guess Fort Wing made me squeal, so it made me happy, and it was very enjoyable at certain points, so that, but nothing really made me happy. I read very depressing shit, so. Question number 12, most beautiful book you bought this year or received. And now I really have to think, because I have a bunch of beautiful books, but I am very much obsessed with the cover of this book. Look at it. Look. This is fucking art here. I don't know why I'm swearing so much. I think I'm just starting to like embrace who I am in life, and I'm probably gonna have a crisis soon, but yeah, I don't know. I love the cover of this book, so maybe this one. I'm gonna go with this one because I don't know, I'm just obsessed with the cover. But I have so many books coming in and out here that I pretty much could show 10 more, but I don't know where they're at right now. They're probably on the shelf somewhere. Oh, there's another one here. Acts of Service by Lillian Fishman. Love this cover. But yeah. And question number 13, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Well, we already established that I need to read these 2 big books, but I honestly have like a list of like thousands of books to read by the end of the year, and I'm always so unrealistic. I could see some here. We have here Briefly a Delicious Life I'd love to read. I'd love to finish reading In Montmartre and Voyeur, because these are 2 books that I'm reading for my research on the French Riviera, so I'd love to read those as well. I'd love to basically read everything, but I know that's not the answer that we're looking for here, so this is actually really hard. But like, I think my next video will be my summer TBR. We still have like 2.5 months to go for summer, so probably do that and, you know, see what I need to read next, because I have a lot. I actually have a stack on the floor that I need to read, but there's no point showing it in this video. I'll probably just show it in my summer TBR video. So that's it for the mid-year book tag. I hope you enjoyed. I know it was a bit chaotic and I was a bit everywhere, but that's because there's books everywhere and I'm just so excited and I love reading so fucking much. And I feel just so inspired right now, and I'm reading more than I did last year, because last year I was depressed as hell and this year I'm feeling better and better, so I want to read and read and read and write and write and write, and I want to create more content. So yeah, if you want to see anything from me, or if you want to see me read a specific book, let me know down below. I have like a list of books that some of you have recommended and said that I should read next. There's one that I really want to read as well, is My Dark Vanessa. So I had an audiobook loan, but I was too late to read it, so I had to return it. But if I'm able to get that audiobook soon again, I probably will read that one as well. And yeah, there's just a bunch of books that I have my eyes on right now. So let me know what you want to see from me. Let me know if you want more vlog style, what kind of vlog style videos, if you want more recommendation videos and what kind of recommendations, if you want more writing related videos, like if you want more like writing help videos, let me know. I'm open to everything and anything. Well, not really open to everything and anything. Let's establish some boundaries here. Like, let's not cross a line. But yeah, I am just so excited, and I don't know what I'm talking anymore because I'm talking too much. So love you guys so much. I hope you find great books to read. I hope that you are following your dreams, and I hope that you're healthy and happy. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.